Everybody loves deviled eggs, but I'm going to show you how to up your game. I'm going to show you how I do crab deviled eggs. Stay with me. It's going to be awesome. Awesome deviled eggs start right from the beginning. You're going to take your eggs directly from the refrigerator and put them right in boiling water. The reason for that is the steam that you're going to create from doing that is going to create a little pocket of air on the end of the egg. That way, when you go to crack them and peel them, it's going to be a little easier to do. You'll notice I'm dropping them into the pot very gently using the spoon. We definitely don't want to crack them at this stage. I'm sure you've hard-boiled an egg and noticed the green appearance on a yolk. Well, if you don't know, that means the egg has been overcooked and it's going to leave like a sulfur kind of taste, and it's just not a very pleasant taste. So you want to try to avoid that, and the way to avoid that is to cook the egg perfectly. And that's kind of hard to do. You got to know exactly the time to cook it. In this case, we have 8 eggs going directly into boiling water. It's going to cook for exactly 12 minutes, not 11, not 13, exactly 12 minutes. And that's what we're going to do here. Right after that 12 minutes, we want to get them into an ice bath. So you can dump the boiling water out, put cold water in, and then top it with ice and keep it on ice until those eggs are down to room temperature. And that's going to take you about 15 minutes or so. So after that 15 minutes is up, you're going to go ahead and dump your ice, dump your water, and it's time to start cracking these guys. Remember, on the end of the egg, there's going to be that little air pocket, and that's where you're going to crack the egg. You're going to bang that against something hard, get that crack going, and then very carefully start pulling the shell back. You don't want to damage the egg white. That makes for a bad-looking egg. So just be very careful doing that so you have nice-looking eggs. I'm not going to show you me peeling a bunch of eggs. That's kind of boring. So we'll fast-forward through that. Just when you're done peeling the egg, rinse it off to get any shell pieces off. Here we're going to go ahead and cut the egg right down the center using a nice sharp knife, and it's just one steady motion through the egg. Just push through. You're not going back and forth. And here you can see that yolk came out just about perfect as it can get. There's no green appearance. It's not overcooked. It's not undercooked. Go ahead and dump it into your bowl where you're going to mix everything. Wipe your knife off. You want a clean knife for the next egg. Very important. And then you can go ahead and move to the next egg. So we have the eggs all sliced, and the yolks are in a separate bowl. And in that separate bowl, we're going to go ahead and get the yolks crushed up with a fork and get them into small pieces. Then we're going to add a tablespoon of relish, sweet relish, teaspoon of mustard, and 1 tablespoon of mayo, and start getting that mixed. And then the crab comes. That's the magic. You're going to take any crab of your choice. On Delmarva, we use blue crab because that is our specialty. And we're going to start mixing that together. It's about 4 to 5 tablespoons of crab meat. And we're going to mix that in really, really well. We want to make sure that is blended really nicely. And then we're going to come in with some more mayo. Now remember, you can always add more mayo, but you can never take it out. So we want to get this to the exact right consistency. So we're coming in with our 2nd tablespoon of mayo, and then we're going to mix that. And we're going to do 1 tablespoon at a time until we have the exact consistency that we're looking for. You never want your eggs to be too runny. So you want to do this slowly and make sure you get it just right. And so with our 3rd tablespoon, we're getting closer, and we're going to mix that in. And what it's probably going to come out to is about 4 tablespoons. And it's going to be 4 light tablespoons, not 4 heavy tablespoons in this case. Now we need to get some Old Bay in our eggs, and we're going to use a heavy teaspoon of Old Bay, and we need to make sure we blend it in real well. We don't want an egg to have a bursting flavor of Old Bay. So that's definitely going to be the star flavor of these eggs. And here's a trick I have for you. You can do it however you like, but I take a Ziploc bag and I snip the corner of it, just a very small little snip, and I'm going to place it down into a drinking glass. And this is going to allow me to get the egg yolk stuffing down into the bag nice and neatly, so that way I can get the bag ready to start squirting it into the eggs. Of course, there's other methods and tools for this, but this is a quick and easy to clean up method that I find very, very useful. So the method to my madness here is I go to each egg and I fill them up, just to the minimum level that I'm looking for, just to make sure that I have enough filling. And then I come behind and I hit each one again. And then I hit each one usually a third time to try to, get that shape I'm looking for. Now, when you're doing crab deviled eggs, the shape or the appearance isn't as important because you're going to be putting a piece of crab meat on top of them, kind of pushing it down. But everybody has their preferences, so, you can get as fancy with this as you want to. You can put a nozzle in the end of that bag and, make these things look as beautiful as you want. One of our last but most important steps is the crab meat. So we take a little pinch and we put it right down on top of the egg, kind of set it in place. And then we come behind with a touch of paprika, and we also come behind that with a touch of Old Bay. And you gotta be careful with the Old Bay, you just want a very light dusting. It can be very strong to some. Our last step is some fresh cut chives. We're gonna chop those up and sprinkle those on, and we're done. The crab deviled eggs, an amazing side dish you can do, not very hard, and I promise you, you're gonna love them.
I really appreciate you sticking around to watch the whole video. Check out these other videos over here. You may very well be interested in those also. The inspiration behind the videos is your feedback. And the best way to give me your feedback is to hit the like button down below. Most importantly, hit the subscribe button down below, and you can also leave comments. I can't wait to see you next time.